Wow, new year, new video from Mikey T, talking about fitness, nutrition, training, and overall, this 4-week shred which I'm about to embark upon. It is a new year, I'm setting new challenges for myself, and I want to see how shredded I can get in a 4-week period. Now the past 2 weeks, I've probably been eating not the best. It has been the festive period, so I've pretty much been eating whatever I want. Let's have a look at the physique. Okay. Not that anyone asked to see, but I'll be getting my kit off. Oh, come on! Underwear off as well? No. Okay, so this is the current condition, which to be honest is not really bad for starting a fitness challenge / transformation challenge. But I just feel like a little bit fluffier than usual. So I want to see how shredded I can get. I'm not actually bothered, at least this first part of the year, being as big as possible. I just want to get like really lean. Let's get on the scales. Scales are saying, wow, well that was 95 exactly. 94.9, so 95 kilograms. Now, my goal is to try and keep as much weight as possible. I'm not trying to lose as much weight as possible, because if I increase the amount of weight that I lose, a lot of that weight no doubt will come in the form of muscle mass. So I want to retain as much muscle mass and weight so that I can keep my metabolism high. But of course, when you're going on a shred, when you're losing body fat, ultimately you are going to lose a little bit of weight, but don't use the scales as one of the main indicators of what is actually happening. Now, the split which I'm going to be following is let me put my clothes on, Jesus Christ. So, new year, new split, and instead of doing the same old hypertrophy focused split, I'm challenging myself. So a challenge for me is doing more cardio, and that's exactly why I put together the hybrid athlete split. So on my app, Thirst app, this is what the 5-day split looks like. So these are the essentials of what needs to be covered. Day 1, we have an upper body focused training session. So this is hypertrophy focused. We have day 2, which is cardio. So this can be anywhere between a 5 to 10 kilometer run, which is a walk in the park for some people, but for me, this is a big deal. You know, this is coming from a man who did one 5 kilometer run last year. So doing this every week is, it's a little bit different. Day 3, there's currently nothing on the schedule. Day 4, lower body focused training session. Day 5, we have the core and the hip. So we have a core session, probably take about 20 minutes. And then this is something else, high intensity interval training. So this is going to be relatively short but very intense, especially if you do it properly. Day 6 is just going to be a full body, so a combination of upper, lower, and then day 7 currently nothing on the plan. Now the hypertrophy focused sessions are going to be a combination of my favorite exercises, which I like to do, and also functional ones, because we want to be a hybrid athlete. We want to do some functional exercises which are going to help on a day-to-day basis. The cardio is the cardio. On those days off, I'm thinking about what I'm going to be doing. I'm still wanting to focus on being jacked, okay? Because I like being jacked. So what I might do is add another session where I'm focusing on like some of my weaker points, some areas which I want to build and improve upon. So I may potentially do a session focusing on like back and delts or something like that. For you guys, it's completely up to you. If you're the type of person who wants to maybe prioritize more of the running and the cardio-based activity, you could do another 5 to 10 kilometer run. Or you could just rest. I mean, for the average Joe, doing this is gonna be enough to build some strength, size, and conditioning. And something which I wanna focus on this year is the conditioning. Because I feel like my cardio, relatively speaking, especially when you look at me, I look like an athlete, but I feel like I don't always perform like an athlete. Like I get gassed quite quickly whenever I do cardio, okay? Whether it be high intensity interval training or longer variations of cardio. I'm not as fit as I could be, and I need to look after this special organ right here. So I'm gonna document this process over the next 4 weeks. The split will take me 5 weeks, but I'm gonna take you through some of the sessions in other videos and how my body is responding. I am unlikely to be the most jacked version of myself doing this, okay? If your goal is to put on as much size as possible, I probably wouldn't follow this split. I would do another split in my app. But for those people who want to lose body fat, if they want to be fitter, they also want to put on a bit of size and strength, then this is probably going to be the perfect split for you. Nutrition is going to have one of the biggest contributions to you actually improving your body composition and losing body fat. Okay, now I've done a few videos, especially last year. I made a couple of bangers, one in particular, which was the Summer Body Blueprint, which I do recommend you go back to that and just watch it, because that goes into a lot of detail of what I'll be talking about today. But to summarize, okay, first thing you want to do when you're trying to figure out how many calories you should consume, or the macros that you should be following, first thing to choose is the protein intake. Okay, so for most people, if you're on a cut or you're maintaining, you want to be around 2 grams per kilogram body weight. Okay, if you're bulking, you probably afford to bring that a little bit less, to like 1.8. Recently, I think one of the biggest findings for me in 2024 was that you don't actually need as much protein as you think you need from some of the studies which have come out. I think as long as you're getting 1.7 grams per kilogram of body weight, that's all right. Now for me, who's on probably the outlier of like people who are going to the gym, like I'm more at the extreme end, I probably want to be having a little bit more, since I'm more concerned about being massive. But for me, I'm going to choose I need to be eating at least 2 grams per kilogram of body weight, 95 kilograms, so as long as I'm having 190 grams of protein per day, that's good, okay? And I want to be consuming this every single day. If I have more than that, it's not the end of the world, okay? So I'd rather have more, not need it, than need it and not have it, okay? Calorie intake, this was, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking, what should I stick at? Because realistically, with something like this, I could take it to the extremes. I could start at like 2,500 if I want to. I could start at like 2,400, but I don't think I'm really going to need to do that, because the past couple of weeks, although I haven't been tracking, I've been eating quite a lot, right? I've been very flexible with my eating, so I'd say I've been consuming at least 3,000 calories per day. On other days, probably more than that, okay? So what most people make the mistake of doing when they're doing the first week of following a nutrition plan is they just restrict themselves far too much. If you just clean up your diet, okay, if you do meal prep and you just eat solid meals, decent macro split, you'll automatically improve your body composition. You'll feel better, you'll look better, inflammation will start to go down, and so on. So for me, I don't want to go too extreme with the deficit. I think around 2,700 calories is going to be all right for me. I maintain around 3,000, okay? And the fact that I'll be doing quite a bit of cardio on this, I believe I won't need to do that, okay? What I tend to do, instead of wanting to be more restrictive with my calories, because I just hate eating less, I like to just move more, okay? One of the best ways of moving more is just walking. So on these days off, or maybe on some of the days when I do have a routine, which I'm doing, I'm gonna do some low intensity, steady state cardio. So whether that's going outside for a walk for 1 hour, the weather's amazing here in Dubai, so you know, there's no excuse not to go outside, or I can just go on a treadmill and track it. But I'll be doing a lot of that. So week 2, week 3, week 4, I haven't actually decided yet what calories I'm going to be on, because it's one of those things where you have to just reassess and take a look at how your body has changed after 1 week of sticking to a particular protocol. For example, if I follow this, and I drop a couple of kilograms in 1 week, then it would not make sense for me to drop my calories again, okay? Because whatever I'm doing, it's working. Arguably, it could be too extreme, but it's working, okay? So if something is working, you don't need to change it, just keep doing it. But whenever you start to notice a halt or stagnation of progress, results, fat loss, then you need to make a change, okay? Either you burn more calories on a day-to-day basis, or you restrict more calories on a day-to-day basis. My biggest fear whenever it comes to cutting and dropping calories too much is the result of that is I will lose size, I will lose strength. Yes, I'll be fucking shredded, but I don't want to be smaller and I don't want to be weaker. So that's why I like to try and keep my calories high. But as the weeks progress, I'm going to tell you what my protocol is and what I'm going to change based on how my body has changed. But a lot of people, when they ask me, oh Mike, so I'm doing a cut, what calorie intake do you think I should be on my 8th week of the cut? I'm like, I have absolutely no idea, because first of all, it depends on whether you're actually going to stick to what you said you're going to do and how your body is going to respond after implementing these protocols at the end of each week. So you kind of have to take it as it comes. But that is that. Supplements. What is all this questionable white powder on my countertop?
New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, was it? Was it? New Year's Eve in Dubai? It's extremely illegal. No, it's electrolytes. Pal. The first supplement of all is an extensive and aggressive steroid protocol. Ha! Kidding. The most important supplement of all is my Bionic. These are my tailor-made vitamins, which I have been taking since 2021. These are customized for me based on a blood test, which I do every 3 to 4 months. So are these gonna make a difference to my performance? Yes, indirectly. More so gonna help me with my overall health, well-being, immune system, and so on. Electrolytes, okay? Shout out to Hugh Mantra. They're always looking after me. Electrolytes, very important to have, especially when you are sweating a lot during your sessions. So when I'm doing these cardio focus sessions, the long run, the HIIT, maybe the leg sessions, when I start to lose a lot of water during my session, it's important for me to rehydrate. One of the quickest and most effective ways to rehydrate is consuming water with electrolytes inside of them. So I will be having these, and how much I have is based on how much sweat that will be coming out of my body. This is quite interesting, what I've been trying recently. Paul Stamets, the Mushroom Don. Check out his podcasts on Joe Rogan, very good. This is like a daily immune support. So the Stamets 7, which is full of a load of mushroom goodness. Something which I've been trying recently. Omega-3s, I should be having 4 capsules a day based on my blood work. So small capsules, which I'll have with each meal. And then I'll also be having protein. Now, I'm not affiliated with any brand. There's no protein brand which I believe is the best form of protein. I think just as long as you're getting good quality protein powder, ideally isolate, ideally grass-fed, then that's good going. I don't want to over-consume the protein supplements. I'd rather get the majority of my nutrients and calories from whole foods, unprocessed whole foods. But every now and then, just for pure convenience, I might just have a shake as a little reward after my session. Of course, I know, could have some Ronnie Coleman whey. I mean, if that gets me looking anything like him, maybe I want to be consuming it. Huh? And then that's pretty much it. My biggest obstacle will be eating out, because I have a lot of people coming over to visit in January, and they will want to no doubt go out for food. This is the biggest thing, because if I go out for food and I don't track it, then the whole day is a bit of a mess. I have no way of knowing if I've really hit this target. Okay, so as much as possible, what I want to do this week is track all my calories. If you watch the full day of eating, when I ate 3,000 calories, everything was tracked. I don't do much meal prep. I just get my food either delivered, or I go to the restaurants where I know the meals which I like and the calorie total and macro split of each meal. And then we go over to my spreadsheet. So this is what I do to track everything. For those that don't know, I basically put all of my favorite meals which I consume on a regular basis, from Nourish, K-Cal, Heat, and some random other ones. And then as the day goes on, I just add each meal to the table, and then it gives me my totals. Okay, so it's just very convenient, because it kind of allows me quite a lot of flexibility when it comes to actually choosing the meals which I want to eat. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I know I've hit the numbers which I want to hit. So for as much as I possibly can do over this 4-week period, everything needs to be tracked, okay? And that goes for you guys as well. If you want to maximize the effectiveness and the speed of the progress, you're just going to have those targets every single day and tick it off, okay? The more days that you have where you just kind of wing it and eat how you want to eat, yeah, it can give you results, but you don't know for sure if you've hit the numbers you need to hit. And most people tend to overeat, let's be honest. This month, I'm going to be all about the training, the recovery, getting locked in, which I imagine a lot of people are at this time of the year. So join me. Let's see if any of you guys can have a more impressive transformation than mine over a 4-week period. Hey, how's that? If anyone can do it and prove that they've got more shredded than me in 4 weeks, I'll give you a special reward. Right? I warn you, I'm going to take this very seriously. So, hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you sign up to the Thirst app. the best possible companion for you when it comes to aiding you on your body recomposition journey and being jacked and delicious.